Good morning. My friend's birthday is roughly in a week from now, and surprising yet again no one, I've left it until the last absolute minute. I think for the last 4 years now it has been. Me and my friend have kept a tradition of passing back and forth handmade gifts in the same little box. She's gotten really into creative writing recently, which has worked out well because I've also been wanting to try out bookbinding, so that is what I am planning to do this year. This year, I'm planning on making an anthology of all of the collected works that she's written over the past year or so. Over the past weeks, I've been very unsubtly asking for her to send over things for me to read. So basically, I've been kind of masquerading as a good friend who takes interest in her work. She has absolutely no clue that I have ulterior motives. Or maybe she does. Maybe the prank is on me. Careful what you send to people. You never know if they're gonna legally self-publish your book to give to you as a gift on your birthday. That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be terrible. By the way, just to preface, this is my very first time bookbinding, and this is going to be an anti-tutorial. This video is probably gonna read as what absolutely not to do. I can already sense it. I can already tell. Hello, this is editor Carlene. I can confirm. So keep watching if you'd like to be a witness to this clownery. I'm, in fact, expecting everything to go wrong, which is fine because we adapt and we overcome. And if you happen to know more than me, which is not very difficult, please let me know in the comments because then I can absorb all the hard work that you've done. And with the magic of video editing, I have collected most of my goods from my natural habitat, the craft store. So, book cloth and bookboard prices do break the bank a little bit. So I've decided that I'm gonna try and make my own book cloth with the heat and bond technique, which was the much cheaper option. And thank you to whoever on Reddit said that the stuff on the back of sketchbooks works great as bookboard. I owe you my life and possibly my firstborn child. Okay, so I did plan to do some hot foiling on the cover, but it appears that my materials for that won't arrive until, 2 weeks after her birthday. Okay. So, change of plans? It's a temporary setback, it's a momentary loss. She will be getting her present very late, but that is okay. She'll understand. I am gonna see her anyway, and she's gonna think that it's to celebrate her birthday, but you fool! I think that there's something a little more important to celebrate, which is she hits day 1,000 of her Duolingo streak pretty soon. So we will be celebrating that. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do at the moment. I might try and bake a cake with the Duolingo's face on it, probably with like a weapon. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm looking at my calendar. If she was on day 969 on the 18th of May, where is that? Then that means that she's gonna hit 1,000 on the 17th. Now it's the 18th. What the hell? Why is it different? Hold on. Oh my god. No, it is the 18th. What the hell? Anyway, good morning. So it is the morning of the 18th. I could not find the time to make that cake that I planned. So I think I've done the next best thing, which is this card. And now, halfway into the video, we actually start the bookbinding process. I printed all of my pages out, folding 4 sheets at a time with my brand shiny new bone folder, and I punched holes with the most sophisticated of tools, a thumbtack. I've got my linen thread and my trusty darning needle, which I usually use for crochet projects. I realized halfway through this that my needle is genuinely messed up. I don't know if it has a purpose, but it's not closed properly at the top, so I had to keep rethreading my needle because it would slip out. Here, I very hastily sewed on end pages, and I realized that I probably wasn't supposed to do that. What I was supposed to do was include 2 blank pages on either end for those to be glued down to the bookboard and then be covered up later with said pretty paper. Anyway, the more you know. I cut and glued my mull cloth to the spine with an old paintbrush and Elmer's glue. I could make slime with this later.
Should embrace and be proud of who you are. Green is amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
'Cause green is the color of slime.
1 second. Here is some of the most unsatisfying footage of me trying to trim the pages. They turned out very serrated at the end. It's like one of my least favorite parts of how this turned out. Anyways, I measured and cut my book board donated kindly from the back of an old watercolor pad. You've done your service well, you may now rest. And after using way too much math than what I'm comfortable with, I measured and cut my book board. By the way, this is some of the least satisfying footage I have ever seen, so I'm so sorry. Somebody get me a proper scalpel and cutting board. Please. Please, I need a cutting board so much. So here's the footage of me very, very shamefully gluing the beautiful end paper down, this is the first of many, many mistakes to come. I feel like this was my main error. I made my book cloth just by applying my heat and bond to the fabric, ironing that, peeling it off, ironing the tissue paper right on, and there we go. Giving it a little trim, and we have functional book cloth. And here is my next mistake. It's that I tried to glue book cloth directly to the spine, but after attaching that, I realized that it was kind of difficult to glue down the rest of the cloth. So it's very, very, very hastily glued on there, and I'm using a very interesting technique. It's so shameful. This is not the highlight of my career, and I got very impatient throughout this process, so I had multiple moments where I didn't let the glue dry in time, and then my pages stuck together. I tried to gently pry them apart, and guess what? Ripped. Did not look nice at all, so I tried to exercise a little bit of creativity. I cut a strip of some leftover end page and just glued that onto the border, hoping no one notices. I basically printed out the design I hastily made by Frankensteining a bunch of things I found on Pinterest together. I did a little practice on one of my notebooks, and it turned out so freaking cute. If we ignore the teeny tiny little mistakes that you can see throughout this, I think that the covers turned out really, really nice. This may be the beginning of a hot foiling addiction. Get freaking ready. Get ready. The foil after it's been used is too pretty to throw away, so I might repurpose it. I feel like I could very easily glue this onto some cardstock and turn it into a mini print or something. I feel like it has so much scrapbooking potential, so I'm gonna give this to my friend as well as part of her gift, hoping she does something with it. Overall, I honestly think that it turned out really well. Obviously, not perfect. But hey, we can't be good at things the first time we try them, right? I think it turned out really well, despite all of the craziness. I'm glad that you can still see the end pages in the front of the book, because I thought they'd look really pretty with the green cover. So sad that I kind of wasted some of it. Now all that is left is to finally give this to my friend, wrapping it up nice and pretty. The green and red color scheme is kind of giving who will. I kind of love it. In the box we go. I will see you in the outro. I made her cry, and I very gingerly wiped away a single tear on her cheek. It was beautiful. Anyways, I think that this project was a mission success. It is closing time, and that is the end of my journey with my very first bookbind. I hope you enjoyed witnessing my turmoil. No, it was really fun. It was so fun. I'm gonna do this again for sure. This isn't the last of it. You're gonna see. Get ready. Get freaking ready. Hopefully better. I've got a bunch of other stuff planned for the future, so you've got to keep your eyes open for that, such as my mid-year reading recap and a couple other art things I've been working on, and I'm saying them here so I take accountability and actually post them. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Whoa! I meant metaphorically, but that's okay too. I guess this is goodbye for now. Be good. I'll see you in the next one.